How's everybody doing here on this fine day? Welcome to Straight Red here on WODU. I'm your host, Tyler Edens. For those of you who tuned in the last broadcast a couple weeks ago, this is all about soccer. We had Austin, our engineer for ODU, on last time. And yeah, like I said, that's been a couple weeks ago. Sorry for the absence. I felt a little under the weather, feeling a lot better now, for those of you wondering. But yeah, this is our first live show, so I'm very, very excited. We're live here on YouTube, and yeah, I'm very excited and a little nervous if you can't tell. But here we go. We're going to jump right into it. We're going to be piggybacking on some topics that we talked about last time because they're still kind of relevant and they're still very interesting. In particular, something I want to talk about immediately because it makes me so happy, so happy. Can we please talk about Mario Balotelli? Mario Balotelli might actually win the Ballon d'Or this year if he continues in the ways that he's going. Now, some of you might think I'm crazy, and for those of you who don't follow Mario Balotelli like I do, let me explain. The man has scored 6 goals in 5 appearances for all competitions. 6 goals in 5 appearances, all competitions. 5 of those goals came in 3, I say that again, 3 Ligue 1 matches for Nice. By the way, Nice are the league leaders in France in Ligue 1. What? Excuse me? You're telling me that Mario Balotelli is leading Nice above PSG, above Monaco? He is leading them to the top of the table? Are you kidding me? This is the same why is me Balotelli? Are you serious? This is crazy. This is insane. Mario Balotelli is in the best form that I've ever seen him in. He just keeps getting better and better and better. Now, he did pick up a red card in his last game, which was a little unfortunate, but I think it was a little silly, if you ask me. But man, Mario Balotelli, everybody. Can we give him just give him a round of applause, everyone? I mean, that's phenomenal. It's absolutely wonderful. I just can't believe it. I honestly cannot believe it. And, you know, he's only 26, so he has plenty of time to, you know, make a comeback here. And I really hope he does, if I'm being 100% honest. I really want him to make a comeback. I mean, he's amazing. I love Mario Balotelli. I think he's, you know, got some off-the-field issues. Yeah, whatever, I don't care. But as a player, I mean, I want him to be better. I mean, maybe that's just, you know, the American in me. We love seeing comebacks, but man, I love Mario Balotelli. I really hope he continues in this form. It's amazing. And, I mean, it's unfortunate he missed the Italy call-up, but I understand why. He was not called up for the qualifiers for the World Cup. And the Italian boss, Ventura, you know, said he wanted to see more consistency from Mario. And I understand that. I mean, you're not going to want to just put somebody in just because they're having, you know, a good start to the season. Like, you want them to keep going. So who knows? Maybe later on he'll get his call-up. But right now, man, is he looking good. I'm excited. Why always me, Balotelli, is making a comeback. You heard it here first, everyone. Mario Balotelli will win the Ballon d'Or as long as he continues on like this. Wow. I just can't believe it. I'm still just so shell-shocked by that. Just that story alone. That may just be the whole show. It's just talking about Mario Balotelli. I mean, he was garbage in Milan. Liverpool did him no favors. I mean, the man, it's astounding. It's really astounding. I'm I'm like a proud parent almost. Like, it's weird because I saw his decline and he was so good. And I think he's getting good again. I think he's going to be great. I think Nice is a nice spot for him, and I think it's a great place for him to revamp his career. And like I said, he's only 26 years old, so the man's got a lot of time on his hands and a lot of time to make his proper comeback. So I'm excited. I don't know about everybody else out there, but I'm excited. I'm excited for Balotelli. Let's talk also about something that we mentioned last time, and that's the refereeing. It keeps getting worse. And if you think I'm wrong, then you're wrong. And I know it's a little harsh, but take a look at the Man United Stoke game that happened this weekend. I want you to take a look at that. Just let that sink in. Just go back to it. Think about it a little bit. I can give you one player's name. Joe Allen. Joe Allen. Somebody put like a price on Joe Allen's head because Man United players went out there trying to destroy Joe Allen. I mean, this poor man. He got just completely chopped. Like, Andre Herrera almost took his legs off in a nasty high tackle that only saw a yellow, which definitely should have saw a red. Definitely should have saw a red. And then Pogba literally took him by his shoulders and just threw him to the ground right in front of a referee, and he didn't do anything. The referee was literally like a meter away. He was so close. He could smell Paul Pogba, and he didn't call a foul. He didn't even call like a free kick. He didn't call anything. He didn't call anything. This man took Joe Allen to the UFC octagon and just like pummeled him to the ground. And you're like, oh, that's normal. He must have just fell. He must have just tripped. That's got to be it. Pogba can't do no wrong. There's no way. Absolutely no way. I refuse to believe it. No way. He must have just flopped. Must have just dived. That's what it's got to be. Really, it's got to be that. And it's not like they were running down the pitch and like it was going real fast. You couldn't see. They were setting up for a free kick. The ref was right in front of them, staring at them. Just watch Pogba throw him to the turf. Are you kidding me? You've got to be joking. You have got to be joking. There's no way. Absolutely no way. I mean, it's just sad. It's just ridiculous. How do you not get called on that? I really don't get it. How do you not get called on that? I don't understand. Refereeing's got to change in the Premier League. There's too many nitpicky calls, and then there's too many just blatant fouls that are just ignored. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I think there needs to be some referee training, retraining. And don't get me wrong, there's some great officials out there, but man, the game keeps moving faster and faster, and the linesmen aren't really doing many favors. And so I think you really need to maybe put an extra referee out there, maybe get some new training. I don't know, man. But boy, poor Joe Allen. Poor Joe Allen was just beaten around in that Man United game. But Joe Allen's revenge, the curse of Joe Allen for Man United, I guess, he got the score to tie it up 1-1 and take away those 3 points from Man United and get a draw out for Stoke. So, I mean, I guess there's a silver lining there somewhere in there's a silver lining. Wow, I just can't believe it. I mean, those two stories were probably my favorites. Those are the ones I want to talk about immediately because, again, I love Mario Balotelli. I think, again, he has off-the-field issues, but the man's a beast, and he can be. And he just needs a team that's going to revitalize his career, a team that believes in Balotelli. Believe in Balotelli. I'm going to get that printed on a shirt. I'm just going to start wearing it around everywhere, absolutely everywhere. Believe in Balotelli because he's amazing. And, yeah, the refereeing is that's something that I've been preaching about since I started watching soccer, as a matter of fact. I didn't start watching soccer until, a number of years ago now. But I've been a long fan of the NFL, and we all know how the refereeing there is there. And I will say that the refereeing in soccer is better than some other sports. I think it is up there in one of the better ones. But it's still not good enough. Not for me, not for a lot of fans, I don't think. It just needs to be a lot better. It needs to get better. There's no other way to say it. There's no other two ways to go about it. It has to get better. That's it. Refs need to start doing better jobs. And like I said, I'm going to give them a break because the game is getting faster. The game, it's speedier, and these refs aren't getting any younger, that's for sure. But, man, you have to figure it out. You cannot keep letting these big calls go unnoticed and then be calling all these nitpicky little, oh, well, he accidentally stepped on his toe, but I'm going to give him a yellow anyway. No, I mean, come on, man. You have to do better than this. Meanwhile, you have Joe Allen getting just, you know, body slammed into the ground, and you're just not calling it. I mean, come on, man. I just don't understand. Um, what is happening in Spain? What's going on in La Liga right now? The La Liga's turned upside down at this point right now. Is it not? Because Barcelona lost again. Again. We talked about this last time where they lost to newly promoted Alaves, I do believe. Now they lost to Celta Vigo. 4-3. 4-3. Are you kidding me? This is a joke. This must be a misprint. Whoever writes my things must have they must have just put a typo. Oh wait, I write them. Well, that's awkward. Anyway, all jokes aside, yeah, they lost to Celta Vigo 4-3. I'm utterly shocked. I mean, nobody's perfect, although Barcelona and all their fans would like for you to think that they are. They're not perfect. They're going to lose games. I knew that. Everybody knows that. They're going to lose games. They're going to drop points. But it's so early in the season, and to such like shocking teams that they're dropping to, it's just so weird. It's so uncharacteristic of Barcelona. They've played 7 games, so it's still early. They are still going to make a comeback, and I think they still, have a good chance of winning the league. I think they will win the league. But like I talked about with Austin last time, you cannot be underestimating these little teams. And I know Barcelona plays everywhere. They play in Europe, and they have the Champions League, and so they got to worry about resting players, blah, 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 whatever. They're not in a particularly challenging group, I don't think. So you don't really need to play your top guys every single Champions League game. And they were playing some of their top guys in this matchup against Celta Vigo. They were playing Suarez, Neymar. I mean, they were playing Busquets. And they couldn't get it done. They went 3-0 at halftime. At halftime. Celta Vigo was mopping the floor with them at halftime. And, I mean, you got to give it up to Barcelona. They make some great adjustments at halftime, like they always do. But you can't go down 3-0 at halftime and expect to win the game. You can't. And I think this is another just underestimating of Celta Vigo. Like, you cannot do this. You have to treat every game like it's a one-game season. And I say that for every sport, but especially soccer. You have to treat every game like a one-game season because every game matters. Those points add up to the end of the season. Every single match matters. You have got to play every single match like it's a one-game season. Because if you don't, you're going to be losing these silly games that come to the end of the season when you're trailing behind Real Madrid, when you're trailing behind Atletico Madrid. We're going to have Barca fans crying. They're like, oh, we lost it. We lost it by 2 points. Yeah, you lost it by 2 points. 2 points that you could have picked up if you would have beat Celta Vigo. 2 points you could have picked up if you would have beat Alaves. You would have won the league if you would have just won those games, if you wouldn't have underestimated your opponents. And I understand, there's minnows in every league, and there's giants in every league. I get it. I understand there's going to be elitism. Guys are going to be like, oh, whatever, we can shrug these guys off. It's no big deal. It's no problem. Don't worry about it. And as much as I don't like that, I understand it, but it's got to change. If you expect to win, if you can expect to consistently win, then you have to put your all into every game. You have to. And when you see it's not working, when you see that you're shrugging off these opponents and they're just dominating you like they were at halftime, you need to come out and you need to play better ball. You need to come out with some ferocity. You need to come out and you can control the ball, and you need to go out and you need to win your games. It's fine if you shrug them off to the beginning of the game and then they start getting some points and you're like, okay, we really need to start paying attention. Let's go. That's fine. You can't slack off for the whole game. And I'm not saying Barcelona did for the whole game. No, it was a very impressive game still for them. Their comeback, and they had a lot of the possession. But they should have never got into that 3-0 position at halftime, is what I'm trying to say. They should have never got there. Once they got that first goal, that's when they should have perked their ears up and like, okay, this isn't working. Can't do this anymore. it's just ridiculous. And then Mateo's own goal. Oh, good Lord. Goodness gracious. I pray that Mateo is sleeping well, because that goal would haunt me. That goal would haunt me for the rest of my life. This poor man. He tried to knock the ball out. He tried to just get it out and shoot it into the stands and just get it as far away from the goal as possible. And it went right into the top bins. Oh. It makes my head hurt just thinking about it. Oh, I feel bad for him. I really do. You got to give it up to him, though. It was a beautiful goal. if he would have been, on the other side of the field, or if he would have been in the other shirt. But man, oh man, that was heartbreaking. I feel for the guy. I really do. A beautiful goal. Like I said, top bins. I mean, absolute, just wonderful. But you got to have an idea of where you are, and you got to have a better idea of what you're doing when you're that close to the goal. I mean, there was no real angle that he was going to get that it was actually going to go over. At best, it would have nicked the bottom of the crossbar and came back out. At best, he was not going to get it over the bar and into the stands or anything like that. It was too harsh of an angle. So I definitely feel for him because you never want to give up an own goal, but oh boy, wow, poor Mateo, poor Mateo. I would say let's take a moment of silence for Mateo, but I don't feel like it. We're gonna move on. Still in the same game, PK had a brace. He got 2 goals, which is wonderful. But I want to know why Luis Suarez didn't get a goal. I want to know why Neymar only got a goal off a penalty kick, and PK scored 2 goals. PK is your center back. Why is he getting more goals than Neymar and Suarez? The two of the greatest attacking players, in all of football right now, arguably. And Suarez doesn't score, and Neymar gets a penalty kick, but PK gets a brace. You've got to be kidding me. They have got to figure something out with that offense, because there's just games where they're dominating, and at MSN, Messi, Suarez, Neymar, they just look dominant. They're just taking over, and then there's other times where they're just a little bit off. But when they're a little bit off, they're really off, and they're not scoring. They're not getting the opportunities that they need to get. And you have to put better balls away. You have to. There are just some silly shots you're taking, glory shots, just to make it into the highlight reel. You need to take some calculated shots if you see that nothing is working. If you see that nothing is going in, then from your, fancy, scorpion kicks, backward, 360, all sorts of shots, then, out of the box shots. You have to work the keeper a little bit more and find your way in there. You should not be just sitting back and taking these silly, wild shots. And I think that's something that Barcelona has become accustomed to, because, again, they've always, been up. They've always been the winners. But if you're down 3-0, then you need to start playing a little bit safer football, a little bit more calculated football. You need to start, working the keeper. You need to start working the defense. You can't be going for gold every single time. You have to make things work. You have to think a little bit. And I think that's something that they're not really doing very much of right now, at least that offensive lineup. Especially not Suarez and Neymar. I think Messi's doing a lot better. Of course, he didn't play in this game with an injury. But I think he's doing a lot better, especially because he took a step back kind of into a cam role. And he's, making plays and getting them to Suarez and getting them to Neymar to where they can do what they do so very well. But man, oh man, they have to figure out a way to do it without Messi. They have to figure out a way to just to make plays. You can't just be expecting PK to come all the way up and get your goals, go all the way back and stop the goals. You have to he has to figure it out. PK had an amazing game, I will say. Although, like I said, the defense had holes, because again they lost 4-3, but PK did have a great game. It was a good one of his best, I would say, because he just played each end of the pitch. It was a nice little game for him. Ter Stegen was absolute garbage. An actual garbage man, and not a man who takes out the garbage, an actual man made of garbage. You have got to do better than that. You have got to do better than that. It was just so... Oh, my goodness. It hurt. Because some of these goals, Ter Stegen could have easily gotten to. Easily. And yeah, the defense should have held him out a little bit more. Yes, Mateo's, a spectacular, own goal. That was, an out of your hands kind of situation. But man, he doesn't have the mindset, I guess, that Claudio Bravo does with Barcelona. He doesn't really have the eyes, at least not in the league games. He was great in Champions League these last few seasons, but for whatever reason, he just can't get it done in La Liga, and it's really just confusing and mind-boggling, because I think Ter Stegen is one of the better keepers in the world right now, but everybody has an off game, but when he has an off game, like, it really, really shows. Like, he doesn't seem confident. He doesn't know what he's doing, and he's just really, really bad, really, really bad when he's off. Just some missed long balls, some missed easy passes that he should have got that led to goals. We won't go into all that, but it's a little ridiculous. It's a little ridiculous. Ter Stegen needs to be better. When you're playing for a top flight like Barcelona, you need to be better. And I kind of want to see... I'm not calling for Ter Stegen to, be cut, or I'm not calling for Ter Stegen to, be replaced. But I want to see... I cannot pronounce his name. I'm not even going to try because I'll butcher it. But they got a keeper, I do believe from Ajax in the Netherlands, and he looks decent. He looks good. I would like to see him get some more reps and some more time, and see how he develops, and see what you got there. Because they picked him up because Claudio Bravo left, but I really think he can help Barcelona out. Maybe on the La Liga level, on the domestic level, because like I said, Ter Stegen is a beast when it comes to Europe, but for whatever reason domestically, he has some lapses in judgment, and it's really sad. So yeah, maybe give your new guy. I want to. Was it Silicic? I can't. I'll butcher it. But I want to see him get some time and see how he goes. But yeah, enough about Barcelona. Still in Spain, because it's just a wreck right now. Let's talk about Real Madrid, who has drew their last 4 straight matches in all competitions. 3 of them have been league domestic matches. Why? Why? Real Madrid started off with 4 straight wins in La Liga and have now gone 3 straight draws. What is wrong with Real Madrid? We are not used to seeing this struggling side. We're used to seeing this dominant force that's battling out with Barcelona, that's fighting for the top, that's just completely just destroying teams, just picking apart teams, and it's sad. And now they're barely squeaking out. They're barely coming away without losses. They're trading goals back and forth with these teams. I really don't understand, and especially the Champions League game against Borussia Dortmund. I will never take anything away from Dortmund. Dortmund is one of my favorite sides, especially in Germany. I will never, ever take away anything from their skill, anything from their players, but there is no reason that Real Madrid should have let that game through their hands. Real Madrid, on paper and in person, is a much better squad, in my opinion. Amazing. They have world-class players that that should just be able to just run through Dortmund, run through their defense, run through their midfield, and just constantly score amazing goals. They should have won that game. They should have. Again, not going to take anything away from Dortmund because I love Dortmund. I love their players, and I love everything about them. I love their fans. But there's no reason that they should have drew that game at all, in my opinion. I don't understand it. And I know Cristiano Ronaldo is not the powerhouse that he used to be, and I may get a little heat for that, but he's not, guys. He's not the, amazing all-star player that he used to be. He's still great. He's still fantastic. I think he will win the Ballon d'Or this season, if Mauro Balotelli doesn't have anything to say about it. But I think he will win the Ballon d'Or because of what he did in Europe last season. I think that he's going to be fantastic. I think he still has quite a number of years left, but he is not as explosive. He is not as dynamic as he used to be, especially in big games. I mean, we saw it in the Champions League final last season. Yes, he got in, or he just wasn't very good in that aspect. Yeah, he won the game with his penalty kick that he made, but that was really it. He didn't really have much of an impact on the game. Then we go to Europe. In Portugal, yes, the Portugal national team is not as strong of a team as Real Madrid is, but that whole tournament was not really his tournament. And of course he got hurt in the final, couldn't really play. Couldn't play at all, excuse me. But he just looked really, really weak, really slow, in my opinion, and really just not all the way there. And I think it's kind of carried over into this season a little bit. I think he's gotten better than where he was towards the tail end of everything last season. But he's definitely not the powerhouse and the dynamic player that he used to be. He's starting to fall off. Just like Messi, I think. Just like Messi. Messi's beginning to show some wear and tear, and so is Ronaldo. Again, not taking anything away from those two. Those two are the greatest players in the world still today. The two greatest players, always battling it out for the top number 1, number 2 spot. But they are beginning to show some wear and tear, and you're starting to see some players like Antoine Griezmann coming in, Lewandowski, who's always been up there in the top 5. He's starting to make his push into the top 3, top 2 category, in my opinion. We've got all these players that are good and that have always taken second fiddle, taken the back seat to Ronaldo and Messi, that are starting to look a little bit better than those two. They're starting to play a little bit better than those two. And again, yeah, they're aging, they're showing wear and tear, but they're just not who they used to be, especially not Ronaldo. I think Ronaldo's taken a bigger dip off than Messi here recently. But again, that's just my opinion. And again, it's still very early in the season. We'll see what happens. We'll see if he warms up a little bit and goes back to his great ways and his just unbelievable play. But right now, I think that Messi and Ronaldo, for me, both have been less than impressive and less than stellar. And that's saying something, because these guys are still doing amazing. They're still scoring. They're still making plays. They're still, the 2 greatest players in the world. And I'm telling you that they're not as good as I want them to be, that they're not impressive. And that's because they've been so good these last, forever since they've been here. They've been so good that even the slightest drop is just, oh, well, that's disappointing. Oh, well, they're not what they should be. Because they should be, and they were amazing. They were at the top of their game. Nobody could even rival them. And now we see, again, in Antoine Griezmann, Lewandowski, some younger guys coming in, and you're like, hey, they're starting to fall off. When in reality, they're really not. They're still the greatest players in the world. They're just not as great. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy. That's entirely a possibility. But I mean, either way, again, Real Madrid, 3 straight draws in the league. They have not won a match since September 18th when they beat Espanyol 2-0 away, not at the Bernabeu. So that's a little disappointing. I'm more worried about Real than Barca because, like I said, Barca has lost 2 games. However, they've really dominated in the games that they've won, whereas Real Madrid has not really been as dominant as I would like to see them be. And again, they have drew these last 3. Barca lost 2, but they weren't back to back. Real has drew the last 3 in the league, last 4 in all competitions. So that's a little bit concerning for me, especially when you look at the table. The top 4 teams are Atletico Madrid with 15 points, Real Madrid with 15 points, Sevilla with 14 points, and Barcelona with 13 points. Barcelona's not far off from the top at all. And Real Madrid, if they continue these ways of just consistently drawing week after week after week, then eventually Barcelona is going to catch back up because, like I said, they're not consistently losing. They're just losing, every few games. And it just needs to get better. It just really, really needs to get better. There's no other way to say it. I can ramble on. I can put all these, different thoughts in your heads. But the main thing is that they both need to step up, especially Real. You cannot consistently be drawing and be expecting to win the league at the end of the season. You have got to start getting some wins. I don't know what they have to do that. I don't know, what Zinedine Zidane's going to have to say to his players. Going to have to, have them train in and training. I don't know what he's going to have to do to get them to where they need to be, but he needs to figure it out soon. He needs to figure out very, very quickly, because if they are not careful, then we will be seeing, Barcelona take them over, maybe even Sevilla take them over. Which, by the way, I want to give a round of applause to Sevilla and Atletico Madrid, especially Sevilla, the Europa League winners, hanging in there with the big boys so far in the season. I'm very excited to see how the rest of this Spanish season plays out. I think it's really competitive. I think it's going to continue to be competitive for a little while, but I think eventually, like I said earlier, Barcelona is going to end up eking it out and taking it back and being the dominant force that we are all used to. They've just had a really rough start to the season so far. But that's enough about Spain. Now we're going to move into the Premier League. The Premier League is my favorite. That's what I watch week in, week out. They're the team for me, or they're the league for me, because they're so competitive, and they are consistently competitive every single season. And nothing shows that more than the Tottenham and Man City game. And I really, 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 really wish that Austin was here right now, because I want him to talk about this, and I want to see him just crying in the chair. No, I'm just kidding. I love Austin. He's cool. But he would be crying if he was here, because Man City lost 2-0 to Tottenham Hotspur. Oh, boy. This brings me joy, because I'm a Chelsea fan, and Chelsea, we have a rivalry with Tottenham, but I'm okay with them personally. I more have a rivalry with the Manchesters, because they're consistently challenging for the title against us. And so every time I see them lose, it makes me happy inside a little bit, and especially Man City. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh. Excuse me, I would like to apologize for that entire segment on Mateo. I just realized Mateo did have an own goal. It was not the stellar top bins goal that I said it was. That would belong to Alexander Kolarov, who got an own goal for Man City. I would like to sincerely apologize to Mateo and all the Barcelona fans. I apologize. He did still score an own goal, which is unfortunate. But I would like to apologize. That was like a minute thing that I did there. Whoops. We're going to pretend like that didn't happen. Hey, Tottenham Hotspur, Man City. Tottenham, again, like I said, they won 2-0. They are now the only undefeated team in the Premier League. So, good for them. Very happy for them. They are still in second place, however, though. They are in second place with Man City on top by just one single little point. Like I said, Man City's first loss of the season. Alexander Kolarov's beautiful own goal, top bends, amazing. Don't really know what he was doing there. Like I said earlier, I understand he was trying to get it over the bar, but the angle just wasn't there. He should have known that, should have played it a little bit better. And Dele Alli had a beautiful goal. Well, maybe not beautiful. I mean, it wasn't like anything spectacular, but I mean, he put a nice goal away, assisted by Heung-min Son. And I guess just the one thing I want everyone to take away from this is that Tottenham Hotspur is not a joke anymore. For season after season after season after season after season, it was always the joke that Tottenham Hotspur is always going to be there, but on the outside looking in. They're always going to be behind Arsenal. They're always going to be behind somebody. They're never going to be able to get over the hump. They're never going to be an all-star team. They're never going to be, better than fill in the blank. Usually it's Arsenal, better than Arsenal. But I think that this game proves that Tottenham should not be just, scoffed at or looked over. They played a beautiful game. A beautiful game. Like it was kind of close. It was pretty even. I do think Man City had the advantage at some points. I do think they should have put away some opportunities that they didn't. But nothing to take away from Tottenham. They had a wonderful game. They played the style of football that they wanted to play. They did what they wanted to do. And I think it worked for them. I think that they did very, very well. Obviously, they got the win. And not to take anything away from Tottenham Hotspur, but Kevin De Bruyne did not play for Man City. And while Pep Guardiola says that they would have lost with or without De Bruyne, I would beg to differ. Because Kevin De Bruyne this season has been a machine. The man has just set up more opportunities, just been a fierce force in the midfield, just dominating every time he gets the ball. And missing him out this game was a huge blow. A huge blow. Because this was a big, big game that if KDB would have been in there, he would have dominated that midfield. They would have won that game, in my opinion, because you can't take anything away from him. He's amazing. He's amazing. He's had the greatest start to the season of anyone in the Premier League. I would say. I think he's fantastic. I think he's going to be amazing once he eventually comes back. And so yeah, I think missing him was bigger than Guardiola would like to lead on. Yeah, no KDB really, really hurt Man City, in my opinion. And just guys just weren't playing up to their potential as they should have. They weren't putting opportunities away. Same thing that we talked about with Barcelona and Real Madrid. You expect Man City to play a little bit better. But again, not taking anything away from Tottenham, I think this is their year. I think this is their year to finally, at least get up to second. I think last season they finished third right behind Arsenal. I think this is their season to get past Arsenal, to finally get over them and finally just shed the choke off. I'm like, yay, we finally did it. We finally at least beat them. We beat them. That's good. Now we can focus on, getting into, the number one spot and winning the Premier League. I still do not think they will win the Premier League. I still think it's going to be Man City. Yes, they had a not-so-great game against Tottenham. I knew it was going to be close. I thought it was going to be close. Definitely thought they were going to take it out, though. But, yeah, I think that they'll be fine. I don't see them losing to Man United, or I don't see them losing the title to anyone this season. But again, give it up to Tottenham. They definitely have a chance to take it to the house and take it home. But again, I think Man City is just too strong. I think they just had a bad game this game, especially, with having to rest some players and do some odd things, with the international break coming up. So, yeah, I think that they'll be fine. I think everything's going to be fine. But this week was a beautiful week for me. I enjoyed it. Some other notable, talking is hard, guys, wins was Liverpool. Liverpool beat Swansea 2-1. And in case you haven't noticed, Liverpool has won 7 of the last 9 games in all competitions. They've had 1 draw and 1 loss. They're 4th place, only 2 points behind Man City. They look beautiful. They look absolutely beautiful. They play some weird mix of this like rugged, just edgy football, and then they also play this like beautiful passes through, and it's just really, really weird. It's like this nice mix. I think it's kind of just Jurgen Klopp. It's Jurgen Klopp. This is what he does. The man just plays some interesting football. Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool is the most exciting team to watch in the Premier League. I'll say that again. Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool is the most exciting team to watch in the Premier League. They just play this weird, beautiful, dirty, messed up kind of game, and it's so interesting. And every game you get invested in what they're doing. You get invested, and they're always really good and really tight games. You always feel like they have the chance of winning. You always feel like they also have the chance to lose. It's just really exciting. It's heart racing, and I'm not even a Liverpool fan. I'm not even a Liverpool fan at all. But every time I watch a Liverpool game, I find myself cheering for them. Except for, of course, Chelsea, because those are my boys. But it's just wonderful. They're a beautiful team to watch. I enjoy every single game I turn on of theirs. And, I mean, Coutinho looks beautiful. Henderson and Milner, they're doing solid work right now. Mane, he's good. I want more. I want more from Mane, but he's being solid. He's a solid player. Sturridge and Origi, obviously not as good as they should be. But I think that they'll end up warming up. I think that they'll end up getting finding their legs towards the middle of the season. Maybe they'll be like a Eden Hazard for Chelsea last year. Maybe they won't get it back until the end of the season, and then carry it through to the next season. But I think that they will definitely find their legs again and be great at Liverpool once again. Just got to give them a little bit more time, a little bit more work. And I think Liverpool are definitely title contenders this season. I think they will definitely be playing in Europe next season. I don't know if it's going to be in the Europa League or the Champions League. I really don't know if they're going to sustain this level of success. If Sturridge and Origi bump up their play and do better, then yeah, I definitely think that they will play in Champions League. But if they continue to stay where they're at right now, I think they'll end up falling off towards the mid to end of the season, and maybe just make it into the Europa League. But I definitely think that they will be in Europe next season. It's just a matter of which league at this point. But yeah, Liverpool's looking impressive to me. Also another win. Again, I'm a Chelsea fan, so I got to talk about it. Chelsea, we knocked off Hull 2-0. I'm not impressed at all. I have not been impressed with Chelsea at all this season. I am glad that we are doing better than we were last season. Definitely better. Definitely happy about that. But I'm not impressed with Antonio Conte at all. As a matter of fact, I'm very disappointed. I, like many Chelsea fans, like many soccer fans that knew Antonio Conte was coming to Chelsea and where he had been, we all thought that he was going to bring that 3-5-2 system that was so good and so successful in Italy and Juventus. That's what we wanted. That's what we thought was coming. That's what was that we were excited for that. But unfortunately, so far all he's had us play is our typical 4-5-1 in various shapes and forms. It's a 4-5-1. That's what we've been playing all season. And it's sad. It's just great. We just want something new. Just give us something new. We were excited when you came. We were very upset that Jose Mourinho left. I was upset about it, but I was happy when I heard we were getting Antonio Conte because of the style of play. What he does with these teams, what the 3-5-2 system that is so exciting and dynamic and has been so successful. Why don't we have that? Why aren't we at least trying that? Why are we using the same old, boring little formula that Chelsea's had? Yeah, it's been kind of successful for us these last, 10 or so seasons. I understand that. But it wasn't successful for us last season, now was it? I don't think it was. At all. At all. We gotta get better. We gotta do better. Give us something new. Let us try something new. We want something new. That's what we want. Come on. Give us the 3-5-2. And especially now that you have Batshuayi. Batshuayi is a great striker. I love Batshuayi. He is amazing. You put him up there next to Costa, you're going to have a destructive strike force. The best in the Premier League, in my opinion. Costa and Batshuayi, playmakers, goals for days. They'll just eat up the net. Oh my goodness. It'll be destructive. But you're not trying it. You're not giving them the chance. Instead, you're just playing Costa and sometimes bringing in Batshuayi. sometimes towards the end of the game when we've either already lost or already won. Tell me why. The kid is amazing. The kid has proven, in my opinion, that he can hold it up there with the big boys, that he could start. Maybe not by himself. I don't think he could lead a strike force by himself, but give him the 3-5-2. Let him work with Costa. Let those two lead the charge, and we will be dominant. But you're not giving the kid his chance. You're not giving him the proper chance. And some other miscues I think Conte is doing. Starting Ivanovic, no. I don't like Ivanovic at all. He was a great player before. I think he's still a decent defender. Decent. He is not good. He is not starter material, in my opinion. Get him out of there. Don't want him. Don't want anything to do with him. I'm fine with Cahill. Fine with David Luiz. I'm even fine with John Terry. John Terry is my favorite Chelsea player ever because whenever you think of Chelsea, you think of John Terry. That's who Chelsea is John Terry. He's not good. He's not good. He's old. And he's not like a fine wine. He doesn't get better with age at all. He's more like milk and kind of sours. But I think he's better than Ivanovic. Ivanovic is he's just not good at all. At all. Again, back to the garbage man thing with Ter Stegen. Not a man who takes out garbage, an actual man made of garbage. He is not good, people. And Conte, you need to realize that. You need to get rid of him. You need to just take him out. Just put him on the bench and just try something else. The old guy's not doing it for us. He's not doing it for us at all. He's not working. He's not working at all. I will repeat for like the millionth time. He's not working at all. Get it through your head. Take him out. Put somebody else in. Let's try something different. I'm glad that he didn't start him for Hull for the whole game. I think the defense looked a little bit stronger. Again, we were playing Hull, who has like a 14-man squad. But I just don't think Ivanovic should be in the starting lineup at all. At all. Not this season at all. When we don't have any European, games, no. We don't need him. Don't need him to start at all. As a matter of fact, I'd be okay if we got rid of him in the winter transfer window and got somebody better, a defender. Put him in with a trade, lump him in, and get somebody, anybody at this point, really. I don't care who it is. I really don't care who it is. Give me anybody. Just not Ivanovic. I can't deal with him. And I also want someone to tell me why we're not starting Fabregas. Why is Cesc Fabregas on the bench consistently every game? The man is a beautiful playmaker in the midfield. He dominates. He is wonderful. He gets all of the plays. He sets up all these beautiful opportunities, and he's on the bench. For Hull, he did not come on once against this Hull game. Stay on the bench the whole game. Why? Tell me why. Tell me why. Tell me why he's on the bench. Please. Please. The man's amazing. I love Cesc Fabregas. He played for Barcelona. Didn't do so well there. But he's doing a decent work here. He's doing better this season in the little spurts that he's had. Give the man his chance. Give the man his time. And again, where is Batshuayi? Where's the two-striker setup that we're all begging you for? We are begging you. Okay, fine. You don't want to give us the 3-5-2 because you don't trust in the defense. Fine. 4-4-2? Maybe. Anything. Please. A 5-3-2? Something. Give us something different. Give us a two-striker formation, and we will be the most explosive attack in the Premier League. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Test me, Conte. If you're listening, which I know you're not, but if you're listening, welcome to WODU Studios. If you're listening, Antonio Conte, please give us the two-striker setup. We are begging you, begging on our hands and knees. We are begging you to please put Batshuayi and Costa next to each other at the same time up front, and we will be disastrous on the attack. Please. Please, 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 please. We all want it. Just let us have it. Just let us see what it would be like. And stop putting all your faith in Oscar and Victor Moses. They're decent players. They're not good. They're not good. Oscar had a decent season a couple seasons ago, I will say. Not impressive. last season, not impressive this season. Get him out. Pull him out, pull Moses out. I'm still holding out hope for Willian. A lot of people don't like him right now, but I think he's the best playmaker on the field right now, considering that Fabregas is not getting his starts and considering that Batshuayi is not starting as well. I think that Willian is one of the better players on our squad right now, so I'm still holding out for hope for him to be a lot better. But yeah, I think we can sit definitely Victor Moses and Oscar. I don't think we need them in there right now. We have a little bit of time left, so I'm going to try and run through some things. It's been a little bit too much time on Spain, but I apologize for that. Going to go through the Champions League real quick. Real Madrid and Legia Warsaw, they have to play behind closed doors because of let me make sure. Yeah, the Polish side's hooliganism, which is unfortunate. You hate to see hooliganism in football. You hate to see people getting hurt. And you know, it's something that we deal with still in the modern day of football, and it's upsetting. But I mean, what can you do? I mean, there's gonna be crazy people, and oh well. I mean, you hit them where their pocket is, I guess. I mean, eventually the team's gonna, the organization's gonna start cracking down more on their hooliganism because they're gonna keep losing revenue from having to play these games in closed doors and not being able to sell tickets. So I don't know. Hopefully we see a change coming soon, but I'm not too optimistic for it. I don't think it's going to happen. But yeah, so that game's going to have to be played with nobody watching, behind closed doors, unfortunately. Bayern cannot beat a Spanish team, apparently. Lost again to Atletico Madrid 1-0. It's really... It's the curse of Spain for Bayern. For whatever reason, they just have the toughest time just wrapping their head around it. Like it's like they see them on the card and they're like, they're from Spain. They're from Spain. Oh, we're done. Oh, we've already lost. We can't do that. We're done. Sorry guys, we're gonna go home. I'll see you later. I'll see you tomorrow. We're done. We can't play. We can't play them. They're too big. They're too strong. Spain. Ooh, scary Spain. Scary Spain. You serious? You can't, they can't beat a Spanish team to save their lives. It makes me so sad because I love Bayern. Just for me, just one time. Just one time. Can you beat a Spanish team? Can you beat any of them? Anyone from Spain. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Deportivo Alaves. Beat someone from Spain, please. They haven't been able to do it in these last couple seasons. They've struggled really, really bad. I still think that Bayern's going to win the tournament. I think they're going to get out of their group, and I think they'll be fine. But you're going to meet a Spanish team in the knockout stages. You're going to. It's pretty much inevitable. You have got to learn how to beat Spain. You have to figure it out. I don't know what it is that's keeping you from doing it, but you have to figure it out. And that's all I'm going to say for that. I'm going to go through a couple of the groups that are a little surprising. Group B, Benfica is at the bottom with 1 point. Definitely thought that they would be winning the league or in second place. But again, there's only been 2 games played, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I definitely thought that they would be at least in second place. So we'll see how that goes. Group A, unsurprising, Arsenal and PSG on top. Group C, unsurprising, Barcelona and Man City on top. Group D, again, unsurprising, Atletico Madrid, Bayern on top. Group E, which me and Austin said was probably going to be the most competitive group, is a little shocking for me because AS Monaco is leading the group with 4 points. I did not think that they were gonna be at the top of the table. I thought that they had a chance to get into second place, but I definitely thought it was going to be Tottenham in first, Bayer Leverkusen in second, and then Monaco coming up on third. But that's I'm apparently completely wrong. It's AS Monaco is on top, and then Tottenham Hotspur and Bayer Leverkusen, and then CSKA Moscow, who me and Austin both said we didn't think they were going to do very well. But yeah, go AS Monaco, I guess. That's a bit of a shock for me. Moving on, Group F, Borussia Dortmund, Real Madrid, top 2. Not surprised again. Group G, Leicester City's on top. FC Porto is in third place with 1 point, which is a little shocking. I did not think that FC Copenhagen would be doing as well as they are right now, but what can you do? What can you do? I definitely think FC Porto will end up, finding their legs and getting into second place, but right now they're They're not where they need to be, unfortunately. And Group H, Juventus is at the top as we suspected. Sevilla's in second place. Good for them. I didn't really think that they would be any lower than second. I think that they're doing really well. And yeah, so I mean, not really surprising. There's a couple big ones in there that shocked me a little bit, but overall, not too bad. We have about 5 minutes left, I think. And I want to talk about something that's really, really exciting and really, really funny to me. Cristiano Ronaldo, our big boy, CR7, we talked about him a little bit earlier. He's starting to open up some hotels. Hotels? This is beautiful. I want to stay in a CR7 hotel. I want to stay in one of these. Especially, oh my gosh, have you heard the specs on it? I think the new one that he just opened is in Lisbon, in Portugal. And oh my goodness, it's his. Okay, I'm gonna read you some of the specs. This is straight from 90 Minutes publication here in the U.S., I do believe. And it says Ronaldo's hotel is a luxurious 82-room establishment with rooms costing upwards of 200 quid a night. I do believe that's pounds. I'm sorry, pounds with 1,250 euros, the going price for a stay at the rooftop CR7 suite, which comes fully equipped with a 48-inch HD TV, a PS4 with virtual reality glasses and games, and cardio workout equipment, because everyone exercises when they stay at your hotel. Oh my god, it gets better. The CR7 experience begins as soon as guests step in the lobby. From the animated screens in the lifts that explore Cristiano Ronaldo's life story to the surround sound sensors in the staircase which project the sounds of cheering fans in a football stadium. Oh boy. In the rooms, the world of sports continues with a detailed sequence of 7 footsteps on the carpets that replicated the real spirit of Ronaldo. And then there's a quote. From Ronaldo that says, "When I was young, I had the dream of having my own hotel. Now I have 2, and I'm proud it's in Lisbon." End quote. Ronaldo's life dream has been to open a hotel. This is the most beautiful thing I've read in my entire life. This is not an understatement. CR7's life dream was to open a hotel, and the man's finally done it. The man has done it. I repeat, CR7 life dream accomplished. Not winning the Champions League, not winning the Euros, not getting married, not having kids. No, I want my own hotel. Yeah. Let's own hotels. I don't know why he talks like that. I don't think he actually talks like that. I mean, you got to give it up to the guy. I mean, I'm glad that he's in the opportunity to do what he loves to do. Apparently, what he wanted to do since he was a kid. But it's just the weirdest thing to me. You hear kids, like, whenever you ask a kid, like, what do you want to do when they grow up? They're like, oh, I want to be a spaceman. Oh, I want to play professional, soccer. I want to play professional football. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to be a singer. I want to do this. No kid I've ever talked to has said, you know what? I really want to open a hotel. And not like just like a little hotel, like a I don't know, like a Hilton or something like that. No. I want my own hotel named after me, with all this cool stuff in it. Yeah. And have you heard this? Did you like listen to the specs that I said that were in there? Talking about a 48-inch HD TV, PS4, complete with the virtual reality glasses and games, and like your own cardio workout room. That is a little kid's dream. That is CR7's baby dream. He's like, I just want to be able to play games and run. Just play games and run. That's what I want to do. That's what I want my hotel to be like. And the man's finally done it. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy that Cristiano Ronaldo has finally done what he's always wanted to do in his life, and that is open a hotel. Oh boy. That story is the greatest story of the day. That's why I saved it for last. I could have talked about it first. Nah, that's beautiful. We're going to bookend, in case you haven't been here since the beginning, we bookended this episode. I'm sorry, I can't stop laughing. It's just so beautiful. We have bookended this podcast with Mario Balotelli and his amazing start to the season and him possibly being the new greatest player in the world. And Cristiano Ronaldo opening up a hotel. If this isn't the greatest sport podcast you've ever listened to, at least soccer-wise, then I don't know what is. I'm going to go. I'm going to let you guys have a great rest of your day. I should be back next week, barring any weird illnesses like last time. But yeah, it's good to be back. I think this is a decent, nice first show, live show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to tune in next week. This should be every Monday from 5:30 to 6:30, give or take a few minutes, of course. But yeah, I enjoyed spending the day with you. I hope you enjoyed spending the evening with me, and I hope you have a great day. We'll see you next time here on Straight Red here on WODU Studios. You have a great